Hello, welcome back to the grind. Anybody new along here? This is me and my 1976 BMW 2002, which I've been working on for, whoa, how long? Getting close to a year now. I picked it up last January, so that's 1 year into it. These things take a while, don't they? Anyway, but I didn't work on it full time because I did some other work on a different vehicle out there, and don't you know, I do other things every now and then. But going along all right with this, onto the carrying on with the interior. Got the door seals all in, window seals. Did I get them this time? Yeah, I think I got the window seals this time. And then I'm attempting to get the rear window in, which is all in except that it's not seated the way it should be. So I've left this, like I've got some tension on this thing here, but you don't want to put too much tension on because you break the window, and I don't want to do that. At the very worst, if it just doesn't seat in there, I'll get the guys to come and glue it in and get rid of that seal. On the front window, I'm going to have them just glue that in. It was glued in last time that it was changed, and I think that'll be what happens this time too. So anyhow, stick around. You see everything I did. It was like doing interior stuff. The walls are on over there and stuff like that. Was that this time? I think so. Who knows? Anyway, see you later. Enjoy it. Yeah, back on the 2002, right? Okay, so over there on that wall, part of the sound deadener that came from the factory was missing or broken off. This side here is okay, so I put some of that stick-on stuff over there. And the rest of the sound deadener from the factory is pretty good, so I'm not gonna dick with it. Like down here, it's all okay. A little bit missing there, but I don't think that'll affect anything because it's underneath the chair. I may put the sound deadener up here around, especially around the transmission tunnel, but that's later. Now I'm gonna see if I can get these lovely side panels cleaned up. They're just a bit of a mess, but if I can get them cleaned up a bit and then stick them in, see how they look. Yeah, so here's a bit of a before and after. That's before, pretty crusty. And after, not so crusty. Actually, it looks pretty good. Really good to a man on horseback. This part here just tucks underneath the seat, and then there's only, I think it clips over the top of the holder, over the top of the thing, over the top of this here, over that rail, and then it only clips in one thing right in the middle here, and then the seat holds it, and the bottom and the base holds it somehow or other. We'll just figure that out. Well, that's quite a bit cleaner than it was. Okay, now I think the next thing I have to do is get the rubber into the back window. I'll try it on this side first. Okay, window glass on the 2002, right? There's one fulcrum point up here, and on this side of there's a Cotter key that just comes right through there and holds it from, falling out. And so I gotta go to the other side, see if I can get that Cotter key pulled out of there, and then maybe the window will come out and be out of my way. I'll show you on this side here. I had all this stuff up and nicely in place, but a little bit premature, I guess. Hey, now let me get this light in here like this, or the camera in here maybe. I don't know, can you see what I'm doing here? It's gonna be right up around here. Yeah, so that should work. So right in here, get in behind this thing, and I had a plastic thing for that. One of these little spoon things, right? And then right up in here is that Cotter key right there. Well, can I get that out of there? I don't know. Seems to come right up against this metal bar. So, I don't know. Hopefully I can do it without breaking the window. Oh, come on. There. So I bent the Cotter key like that and it came out. Now, we don't know how about getting it back in later, but it's out now. And then this window just comes out like that. That's a hell of a deal. Okay, that's out. Now maybe I'll be able to get, now I've done all this so I can get the weather seal back into it. Hang on, I'll show you that. I think what you're supposed to do is take these screws out of here, and then this whole metal bit and everything goes with it. So I'll take them out, put the window back together, and that might make things a bit easier. Okay, it looks like it's got a spot for 2 Cotter keys. So that's, somebody had already removed one trying to get the window out, I guess. Then that thing just slides in there like that to hold it later again. Okay, I'll put this back together the way it's supposed to be, and that makes some sense. So then this weather stripping goes in here, right? And it's, don't lose it. See this little tiny, wait a minute till I get my fingers right. See this little lip right here? The little lip right there has got to go underneath here. Whoops, underneath this part here. So, and not very easy to get in there, but I got it started and I've been at it about 2 hours now. But I actually haven't been at it for 2 hours because the first hour and a half was fighting with that window still in here, and once I took the window out, then it gets a whole bunch easier. So it's just a matter of using these little these little plastic tools and getting that thing tucked in there, and then push it up out in behind. These things here, whoops, down here, I'll get this stuff tucked back in there soon too. Let's see if, that might be difficult, but I'll get it done. Okay, I'll keep working at it. I'll show you as I get along. Yeah, been struggling with this for a while. So finally got the right, this tool here seems to work all right. I don't know if I can get you on a spot where you can see this or not. Sort of have to just see where that's in, right? Then this thing here just sort of catches the edge and pushes it in okay. Maybe when I get up higher I'll be able to film it, I don't know. Hang on. Is that going to stay on there? Don't know whether you'll just get my shoulder in your view there or not. But I got a tie wrap up here holding it. And then down here, I think that's all in. Seems to be going in. Yay. Right here, so this thing here just pushes it in until you can hear it sort of snap in there. And you can tell it's in because it's sealed along here. Now the hard part is going to be getting it around the corner here. Sort of going along all right now. You hold it back here like this. Find the spot that's not tucked in. Right here. Oops. As soon as I put the camera on, it doesn't work properly. There. Sort of goes along, creeping along inch by inch. There, that's on. Boy, was that ever difficult. Anyhow, that's, let me see. It's 3:30 now. Started about 11 o'clock. Well, maybe around there. And maybe noon. So you've got 3 hours just into this bit of rubber right here. You got to be very patient with these old cars. So if you have the choice, don't take that rubber out. That's a mistake. Yeah, I thought I was missing this piece here, but then I looked around and found it on the floor in the other shop, and it seems to fit in there. Different than the other side. The other side is together. This one here might have been together one time. I don't know. But I think I'll see if I can glue that in there, because that'll keep it from leaking, right? But I'll take this out and clean it first, because it's filthy dirty. Yeah, it definitely goes in there. That's where those little markers are. Okay, clean it up. These little markers. And they're on the back of this. So, that's it. Okay, so that rubber goes in, and then these bits here, which are the black bits, they go on, and I'm missing one, but I imagine I'll find it. Then this piece here goes on over the rubber here, and then clips in, and that's the way it sits, like that. That's right. That little cubby hole there. It just, the only thing I found in there was a piece of. Do you remember back in the day when there was a thing called Trident gum? Now, do I have that thing on backwards? Looks like it. Go. This is on backwards. No, it can't be. It's the only way it'll go. Let me have a look at the other side. Is it because that thing is supposed to be in more? I don't know. Unless it's on the wrong side altogether. Wait a minute. Yeah, see, that side comes in a little bit closer. That's as good as it gets. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, one whole day's work to get that thing done, but it is done. And still have to do this little clasp here, though. There's 4 screws on the inside of this, remember I showed you. And then this thing here, it should sit in there a little bit nicer than that, but it doesn't. I guess that's how it sits. And on the inside I've got all the trim in on this side of the car. So now, tomorrow I guess I have to do that side, which is another day's work. See you tomorrow. Yeah, back at it. Let's see if I can get this right up there. See if I can get that out of there so the window will come out. Sort of have to I just take a rag and I put it up in here to hold the window open a bit. I don't know if can you see them, like I can get my hand through there. Anyway, and a screwdriver. See if I can get it out of there. See if I can get myself into here. BMWs are supposed to be comfortable. It isn't yet. So then I've got to take this back off again because it makes it easier if it's not in the way. Sorry, there. And then that looks all, it's in incredibly nice condition down here. A little bit dirty in there, but I'll clean that up. And then this stays no problem. Okay, now this seal, which is the original seal that came out of it, I'm going to put back in. I'll clean it up with the secret weapon there, spray 9, and then go to getting it in there. Now that I've got a bit of a method, this side here is working better than the other side. So I've got it. It might not take all day to do it. You just go and, I don't know, can you see inside there that little lip in there? That's got to be pushed in and underneath the body of the car. But sometimes it's one step forward and 2 steps backwards. Kind of just work at it and it goes like that, and then give it a bit of a push. And when this comes up so that it's stuck against there, that means that it's in the spot, right? So I'll just carry on going round, round, round. I'll bring you back as I get along. Yeah, so I've got it all the way around to here. That much more to go. Going quicker than it did yesterday, which is thankful. And I'll carry on. Yeah, so experience counts, because this side only took an hour instead of 2 or 3 hours. So that's all right. You can tell it's in when this part here just sort of comes up tight against there. That's good. Happy with that. Okay, now I have to clean up the window and get it back into, like, there's 4 holes here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I put new screws into there. I'll take one, the other side there, it was tough to get them in because the screws that I'm using are just a bit bigger diameter than the ones that were in there. So I'll put them in as a pilot first, and then I'll get 4 new ones to put in afterwards. Yeah, so I cleaned up the window and fixed up the carrier. And I'll see if I can get one screw in there anyhow, so that it's going to be safe. And then I can open the window to get the other screws in. Okay, I'll get going on that. Yeah, my head might be in the way here, but we'll give it a go. Okay, that's in and fits nice. So this part here is still hanging up. Oh, that got out. Oh well, that's fine. Down there with a couple of little bits of that, and this is all pretty crooked, but I guess we're all right. Oh, excuse me, I got to sneeze. Yeah, that's all in there now, and this part here, there. This side's in. So now I got to find these clasp things. I think I've seen them around, but see if I can find them and stick them back on there. Yeah, so I've got one of these things, which is complete. There's the other one there, but I'm missing this part here from the other one. I think I've seen it around, but don't know where. I must have put it in a safe spot somewhere. Anyhow, I'll get this one cleaned up and installed, and that'll be good. And then I'll take a look for the other one. Yeah, if you look long enough through all these things, and there's another one underneath here, then you find all the bits eventually. There, those two things are here, amazingly enough. I'll just clean them up and maybe even give them a bit of a paint, and then put them back on the car. Yeah, there it is. So I just decided to clean them up a bit and leave them with their patina, for a better word. But I did clean them up a bit and got all the dirt out of them, and then oiled them up. That's on there, and then it just opens like that if you want it open, and closes like that. That's pretty good. I'm happy with those. So those windows are complete. Yay. And the back sides are complete. Yay. Okay, that's enough for today. Some more tomorrow. Bye-bye. See if we can get the door handles onto it. This one, like, there's a screw here, and then underneath here I just put some thick Gorilla tape on there, and it seems to be just to keep it from scratching up against the paint, right? So I'll get that tightened on, and then I'll show you how I made that little gasket stuff. So I want the black side on there, and then that'll be, so I'm going to just make an impression with my finger here. I need two hands for this. Can I hook you up somewhere? Wait a minute. I'll put you right up here. You're on the light. Right around here. Yeah. So use my hold it very steady and just make an impression like that. And if you can see that, there's an impression on there. Okay, then I'll go cut that out over there. Hang on. There's the impression, so I can just take this knife and cut that. Oh. Then the impression of the hole is right here. I can just put a metal tag on top of it. Can you see anything I'm doing? Actually not. Down here. Okay. So I cut this impression out, then I'm going to just take a drill and make a hole here, like that. Then this hopefully comes apart. Maybe take a bit more cutting. I'll give it another go with the knife. Sticky stuff, Gorilla Glue. So then this part here will fit on here like that. Now I need to make an impression of this part up here. There it is there, so now I can just carefully cut that out with a pair of scissors. And the scissors, of course, are going to stick to everything because it's sticky stuff. This stuff. So there's that thing there, and then on the back of this is just plastic. Comes apart like that. Then it's really sticky. And I'm going to put this in the vise over here. And very carefully put this thing on it. There, so that'll be the gasket. That just keeps it from scratching the paint, eh? Then I'll make another little one for here, and that's done. Yeah, there, so now I made this little piece here. And I'll get that onto there like that. Then that can go on the car. Yeah, there. Now, whoops. That works pretty darn good. And the gap's all right there. Other side is not as good, but I think we can fix it up pretty easily. It closes nice, no problem. But it, like it there's closed. See, the gap is a bit wider there, so it needs a shim at the front of the door. I'm not for sure how I'm going to do that, but we'll figure that out. Yeah, or maybe a less of a shim. I'm not sure. Does it have a shim in there already? I don't remember. Oh, maybe I can loosen there. I can loosen those three screws, and the door will come back this way a bit. Okay, that makes it. Okay, so I can adjust it that way. Yeah, so I brought the carpet in. That's for around the back seat. Now I'm going to I'll just let it warm up in here instead of being in the cold shop. Then I'll clean it. I think it's in pretty good shape. I'll clean it and put it back in the car. I don't know that it was original to the car or not, but doesn't matter. It's what I have. And then underneath the gear shift there, it needs to have a boot. A boot. So I was able to find this boot on Amazon, just a generic type boot. So I'll put it on there and see if I can make that work. Because the boot that was on it was just here it is here. Here's the boot that was on. What the? Wonder what all that stuff is, but it doesn't matter. So here's the boot that was on it, and it's all, ratted out. So this should work without any too much trouble. It'd be a bit bigger at the bottom, but it fits on that spot, so that's fine. Anyway, that means I have to lift the car up, unhook the gear shift selector thing from the bottom, and then whatever I have to do to then take it apart up here, because I've got it screwed down. Take it apart here, put the not sure. Hang on. I'll follow that plan. I'll lift it up. I'll take that apart. Take the gear shifter out of there, and then carry on. Yeah, up here, right there. Now I was prepared for a fight, but the fight didn't happen because I used this picky thing. I just went up and pulled that off there, and it fell off onto the floor, and I found it right away. Didn't lose it. So good. That's a good sign. Okay, I'm going to put that right there where I won't lose it later. Now I'll let the car back down and carry on. Yeah, so I cut that down in size so this will fit like into the that'll fit into the hole there with I can't. I need more hands here. Hang on. Like the way that hole is there,
the way that hole is there, I'm gonna just, I'm coming. I'm just gonna tuck this thing in here. First off, I have to get that underneath there, and then tuck this rubber in so that it's in the hole there. And then I'll screw this down and see if it works. If it doesn't work, I'll pull it back out. But that will seal the air from coming up through there, I think. We don't know for sure. There's nothing guaranteed with this build, eh? Nothing guaranteed with any build, is there? Is that looking anywhere near the right spot? Likely not.
Well, that was a bit of a failure. This thing came right through. So I'm gonna have to rethink that. Maybe I'll try a different approach. This time I left most of the material on the top. This little bit poked through for some reason, but now it's stuck in there between the gear shift mechanism and this, so it won't go anywhere. So that should seal it up pretty good, and I'll get that clippy thing back on there with a pair of long nose pliers, and that'll be that. Yeah, there, it's back into place. I don't know if it's supposed to have a couple of washers maybe in there, or at least one. Think about that.
Yeah, there, I got it installed, and I put an extra washer in there underneath. Seems to work okay. There's first gear, second gear, third gear, neutral, reverse, park. That must be reverse, that must be neutral. Anyway, seems to be working. Okay, we'll have a road test before I put the carpet in, will I? Likely not, because it's winter. So, anyway, I'll put it together. Yeah, a short day today, that's all I've got time for. I've got to go and do some other things. So, see you tomorrow maybe. Yeah, here I am. Back again, and rear view mirror, I found it, and it's got these little, that spring and these things here so compressed, so it just pops up into place in the ceiling there. See if I can get it up there and get it in and see what happens. Yeah, there, it went in. It wasn't that easy, but it went in. Anyway, the I had to put one side in and push the other side button with this, and that got it to go after a few tries. Yeah, I'm back on putting on molding rubber. This thing here has got a bubble here. I wonder if that's supposed to be, maybe it's supposed to be to make that so it's got to be tight against the window at the end here. We'll just let it be. So I've got it all the way up to here and all the way down to here. This part here, I've got glue that goes on. You put this glue on there, and that holds it tight. This goes around, it tucks into a little channel, like, see that little channel there? There's this part here, tucks into that little channel all the way around, and it's not too hard to do, but just tedious. I've got from here to here, starting here, going down that way, starting here, coming across this way, and sort of just keep on tucking it in as I go. It's slow and tedious. Yeah, so this stuff here, 3M Black Super Weatherstrip and Gasket Adhesive. Fast drying, and you just, instructions, you can't read that, but I read it. it says apply a thin coat to each layer, each thing being bonded, each side of the bond, and let it get tacky. So it's like contact cement, but black, and very, very, very aggressively adhesive. Because I used this on my Volkswagen van, and it held the weather stripping on very well. Yeah, there we go. That's all glued in, up and down everywhere. I wonder if the door will close. Let's see. Oh yeah, it closes nice. Eh? Wonder what fell off there. Oh, the door, the window thing, window winder. That's nice. That's nice. This thing here, that's hanging down a bit, and it's a bit in, and this thing touched on something here. I'll have to get some touch up on paint and just clean that up one of these days. Yeah, that's nice. Now I can put the inside door panels on once I clean them up, but I'm working on that side right now. Wonder if maybe I'll put the window up and try that. Yeah, it looks like the windows will seal. I guess a road test will tell you whether it's a good seal. This could likely go in just a bit more, hey? Maybe I'll move the striker in just a tiny bit, 1/8 of an inch that way, and that should make this come up tighter and everything heading a fit nice. That actually looks pretty good. Window's dirty. That window's nice and clean. This one here, the seal's all in. It's good. Okay, so have to move the striker in a tiny bit, and that's okay. This door was binding on the striker a bit. Now it's good now. What I did was loosened the bolts up there, and then I just brought the door back and closed it, and that pulled it this way just a tiny bit and to the right size. Then I tightened those bolts before I opened it again, but I still have to tighten the other. I've only tightened one bolt each on the hinge. There's 3 on each one. I'll tighten them up and that'll be good. Yeah, so don't let me get ahead of myself putting this on, because I still have to put the little stoppers on there to keep it from opening, double round in the wind or something, eh? Okay, so that's bending. Yeah, so I decided it's just as easy to take the door off, because I have to get that thing in, which is the light switch. Find that, stick it in there, and this thing here, which is the holder, it's got to go into there. So likely easier to do it from this side. We'll see. Yeah, that was easier with the door off. The other side wasn't that bad, but this side here is getting kind of tight, so easier to do with the door off. Now I'll just get this stuff here glued on. Whoops, where am I pointing? Anyhow, get the glue on there, and then let it set for a while and stick them together. See if I can, when I'm waiting for it to set for a while, I'll just see if I can find the piece that goes in there to keep the door from swinging too far. Yeah, there, that's on and glued down. Hopefully it's in the right, well, it's in the right spot up here, but hopefully I got it glued in right. Anyway, I think it'll push in all right if it doesn't. A couple of spots where it didn't get glued as well as it could have been. Whoops. Right in there. I thought I had lots of glue in there, but maybe not. Anyway, we'll let it be. Let it just set there for a while. Now, this part here on this side of the car was broken, and I pulled it out of there. I found both the pieces. Like, here's one. This is one for the
That was on the passenger side, but I might put this on the driver door because it's used more often. And the passenger door has, like, it's broken. But I'll see. This is pot metal, sort of. I don't know what it is, but I'll see if I can braze on that with the with my MIG brazer. We'll just see what happens. At the worst, it'll be. At the worst, it won't work. At the best, it might work. And then if it does, if I am able to braze on there, I'll put another little piece of metal on here and braze it on so that it holds this solid. Maybe I'll even bend it over so it's back onto here, right? We'll just see. Okay, excuse me. Here's the inside sort of thing brazed in there. It seemed to stick. And then I grinded it down to make it flat so this thing here will ride on it. Just a bit right there, didn't I? Okay, I'll fix that. Now I'll grind down this side and make it flat, and then I'll show you the other side. Now, do you suppose it'll hold together? I'll put it on the passenger side, and the very worst thing that'll happen is that it'll break off again, and then this piece here will always be able to come up to here and stop it, so the wind, it'll stop it at the right spot whether this part's attached or not. So, but we'll give it a try and see if it works. What the hell, eh? That's just pot metal, and you know, you can sort of braze to it, but maybe it melts it up too much, who knows. Okay, so this is all in here now, and it looks like it's about right. Well, who knows. Gap is okay back here, and then it opens, and I've got that stopper. The one that's brazed is in this side. It doesn't get used as much, and it closes right there, and that's a good, like, that's right on. Okay, happy with that. No door on the other side, but I'll put that in tomorrow, so see you then. Yeah, so I went ahead and got this stuff up here in. This, for some reason, didn't stick on that part. Everything else seems to be stuck pretty good. All that over there, and this, don't know why. So I cleaned it off with brake clean on there. Must have been some sort of yucco on there. So I cleaned it off with brake clean, and then I reapplied, and I'm going to let it set for about 10 minutes, and then we'll stick it back together, I hope. Yeah, today sort of everything's little fiddly things. Like this is the switch for the dome light, which I might put in there. I've got that. I know where it is. Might as well put it in. And the wire goes through the wall here somewhere, up here. Same on the other side. So I had to fish a wire, like I sent a wire through here to the other side, and then pulled the wiring back through and hooked it up. Fairly simple, but you know, it takes time. Everything takes time. Yeah, so the light now, light comes on when you put the switch to that side, and that makes it work with the doors. Right? There we go. Not a great thing, but there we go. That works with the doors, so I'll turn it off for now, and we'll just let it be. It doesn't seem to work with the other side because the switch needs a new switch. So I think I'm ready to put the back window in now. What do you think my chances are of being able to get that in there? Guess we'll give it a go without breaking it. Okay, here's the rear window, and it's this is the way it came from across the country. The front window, it unfortunately got a bash in it. I don't know if it's savable or not, but the front window's got like a rock hit right here. Hasn't cracked beyond there, but I'll take it into the glass place and see if they can fix it. And if they can, that's good. If they're not, have to get a new window if I can find one. Anyway, let's see if we can get this cleaned up here a little bit. Is that somewhere there? Yeah. Oh yeah, on the ground. You guys spend more time on the ground than anything else.
Try it again.
There. Windex. Windex by the gallon. I'll get some of the first layer of dirt off of it. Yuck. Now, razor blade and more Windex. Might have to get the heat gun, just give it a bit of heat to loosen up that adhesive. Maybe some solvent, I don't know. You suppose brake cleaner would do it? Or do you suppose WD, well, penetrating oil. So, did you see where I put my razor blade? Gonna take a while, this is. And I can't find, I have a thing that holds a razor blade, but you know, I can never find it. It's always in my way when I'm not looking for it. But as soon as I want it, it's gone. So I'll do this. I think this pair of pliers is looking to break a window. I won't use them anymore. Well, there's something that works. More or less. Yeah, so I'll keep on working away at this business here. If I find something that works spectacularly well, I'll let you know. Yeah, so once you get the top layer of, like the top layer of the tape, plastic stuff off, then the rest just sort of comes off. Soak it with a bit of brake clean and it comes off pretty nice and easy. A little bit of solvent. I don't know what I'm using. Brake clean, I imagine, like any solvent would do. And I did find my little tool here. That's getting to be not bad. So now, where my little tool go? Around the edges here, there's lots of little adhesive. That's coming along. So anyway, I'll do the other half. Yeah, that's pretty darn clean. There's spots here where it's, you know, I don't think I can ever get that, whatever's on there, it's just how it is. But I think it's pretty good for a rear window. Now, I'll see if I can get the window thing onto it. You know, I've got a seal, window seal. Put that on, then I get my trusty rope out here into some soapy water and get that in, and then see if we can get the window to go in there. There, so you find the uh-oh, I might have that on backwards here. Yeah, I got it on backwards. Okay, find the mid seam and then you put the middle of the seam at the bottom in the middle of the window, or put the seam at the middle at the bottom of the window. This is the bottom of the window, but I've got this upside down because that has to go onto the windowsill. Okay, hang on. See if I can get this right this time. That goes in the windowsill, right? Trim bit that goes on there, but I don't have that. So. Got it right the first time. Lots of PDM. Anyway, I'll keep on going at this and see if I can get that onto the window. I don't like to use soap in this part here because then it falls off as easy as it goes on. But if you don't use soap, it doesn't fall off quite as easy. Yeah, there, I've got the four corners kind of on. And now, when they're on, then the rest of it might go a little bit easier. We'll just see. Well, I'll just carry on fighting with it. Yeah, there, that's window seals on. So far, I'll flip it over and I'll see if I can get the rope in there. Yeah, so there's the rest of the layers. So it's got the 1, 2, 3 seal layers, and then this goes on the inside of the car. So you put a rope in here, and then start it up there in the middle, bring it around that side to both sides, and then end it down here in the middle, and then see if you can get it to sit in the car. That'll be the challenge. Yeah, so I'm putting the rope in. I don't know if I showed you any of this. I think I missed. Just got going and forgot about it, right? So here I am. This channel here has got a rope in it all the way around. That's the top of the window. So where the middle of the window is, you want to overlap it. So overlap the ropes so that there's, a few inches here of overlap. That makes it so that when you start pulling it, it'll just, if you lose a bit, you get it from the other side, sort of thing. Then go through the whole window and make sure you have it pulled in all the way. So this, I soaked. That'll be enough. I soaked the rope in water, then rinsed it out, and soaked it again, rinsed it out, soaked it again, 3 or 4 times. I think it's ready to go in. Now, I've laid the window in, and this is over the lip on the bottom, and that's pretty close to centered. Like I've got, see how it's close here? And then up here, like that'll drop down a bit once the rope comes out of it, I hope. And then the same thing here, like it's a little bit over on this side. So we'll just pull the rope and see. Like sometimes it takes 2 or 3 tries. I'll just hop in there and get at it. We'll see if we can get it, once the rope comes out of the bottom here, I'll see if I can get it pushed down a bit more. Don't know where the best place for you to watch this is. Maybe right there, and we'll just see. I'll get started on it. maybe it's working. I'll just keep on pecking away at it here. I'll show you when I get done. So you see right there, the lip isn't over it all the way, but over here it is, and right up to there. So it's looking good on that side. This side here has got away on me over here. But I'll see if I can use this picky thing, get that lip to come out over the top of it, and then go from there. Well, I don't know if you can see any of this what I'm doing. Picky thing's kind of funny because you got to get just in the right spot there. And pull it without cutting it. I think I did it. Now I'll see if I can press it down a bit. You tell me if it goes down any. Now, I don't know if you saw any of that, but I've got that out there now. Not going to worry about that too much because that's too late for that. Anyway, I'll see if I can press it down a bit and see what happens. Yeah, going to have to do a take 2 on this thing because it's just, you see this crack here, that should be about there. And then on the other side, that line should be right at there. Just got to go that way, 1/8 of an inch, and it might drop in. But that's the way these things go. You do it once, twice, maybe 3 times, and hopefully don't break the window. It's going a bit better this time. So I've got that lined up pretty close right there. And the same thing over here. Lined up pretty close. So this side here seems to be dropping into place. I'll see if I can pull a little bit more on the inside there and get it up around this corner here. Once you get the top corner done, then you're home free. So I put a bunch of soap and water up along this edge and then worked it a little bit. See if I can get it to drop into where it wants to go here. And it's pretty close to being dropping in there. Working it back and forth a bit. I don't know which side to drop in first. I think I'll see if I can drop in that side first and then this side here might go. Because it seems to be fulcrum, you know, there's a center point that it's not quite right with, not quite happy with. But if I can get this dropped in over here, then maybe I can push the whole thing this way a little bit, make it happen. I'll figure it out. Well, they're not in yet. Getting close, but no cigars. I think that got to go that way a tiny bit, even though I have that mark there. Hard to say. Anyway, I'm gonna not do any more today because if I do much more, I'm liable to break something. So I'll go at it tomorrow morning, or tomorrow afternoon, or whenever I come back out here, and give it a try. Maybe get Gus to come over and give me a hand pushing on it. But when you push on it too hard, they're going to break it. So, there you go. Yeah, so now, I don't know if you can see the red light. Can you see the red light? Yeah. I've got this, my laser level here. And I've got it so it's right through the middle of that hole right there, which is going to be the center of the car, right through the keyhole, which is center of the car, and it reflects on the middle of this. You can't really see it here, but you can see the red light right here on the middle of that mirror. So that's going pretty well up the center of the car. I also marked a spot up here that's got it on the middle of the car. And then I have this, I measured from that little dot right there to the other side, and this is the middle. The black line is the middle, so the window's got to come this way, just a 1/16 of an inch to make it line upright. Now I'll just take the window out again, reinstall my whatever you call that stuff, rope, give it lots of soapy water, and see about getting it in there into the place. So I think what I have to do is I have to make it so this drops down before I try and get it to go in, because if this isn't dropped down, there's too much of a gap here for it to catch. So that's what I'll try and do. Yeah, there, it's mostly in. I got it centered with the laser that I showed you before, and then I was able to get it all pushed in, and the inside is wrapped around, but it's not seated properly yet. So I've got this bit of I've got this tarp strap on here just to hold pressure on it, and I got to leave it sitting for a couple of days before I go back at it again and just see if that will allow this rubber to somehow, the rubber will eventually settle in. All right, day 3 on the saga of the back window. Anyway, I've had a couple of days of it, and kind of failure. Like it's not sitting in there tight enough to hold, right? It just comes out that easily. So I'm going to take it back out. I watched a video last night on YouTube with this, well, an older version, about a 1968 version of this car, clear back window, and the same rubber that I have here, and they used WD-40 to lubricate everything, and it seemed to go in pretty easy for those guys. So I'll give it a try. Let's see if that works. Printer set to go here. With it again, I've got the got a new light like that too. I got this put on. Now, first thing I did was I soaked it in WD-40 on the inside rail there, and then I tried to put it on and it just wouldn't stay. So then I had to go after it with the brake clean and clean out all the WD-40 and clean off the glass again, and then go. Then it sticks, Now, I'll take it over to the car. I'll WD-40 all the way around the outside, and I'll WD-40 all the way well, first I'll show you. I'm going to WD-40 all the way around here and around there. Whoops, around here and around there. Just with the old spray. Like that. So I'll get to it. Yeah, here we go. See if I can get this up into place. I'll see if I can get that to start sliding down into place. It's sort of there, but it really slips in and out of place pretty quickly. I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, there, it's finally in, and it's over the lip on the inside by a 1/4 inch all the way around anyhow. So hopefully it'll sort of settle in. I gotta leave these, I've got these on here pretty tight. I'm gonna leave them on there for about 3 or 4 days because I'm not confident that it's happy in there yet. So once it's happy in there, then I'll take this stuff apart and see how it feels. So anyhow, the front windshield, I'm not going to go through that again. I'm just going to get them to glue it in because that's really a pain. That is. Anyway, now there's also a piece that goes inside this little hollow here. Now, I don't know whether I'll ever get that in there or not, but maybe I'll see if I can find one and put it in there. Who knows? I'm not too concerned about it. I don't know if it's is it a piece that has to be in there for structure? Likely it is, eh? Anyway, I better do it. The WD-40 helped a lot. And it's after I had the window into place, then I did put some WD-40 down in the channels here, and so it made it so that glass could slide a little bit. And that WD-40 just disintegrates or dissolves, not dissolves, it evaporates very quickly. So I had to put it on 3 or 4 times, you know, up in here to keep on helping to get that thing pushed in. And I may have to do that again. Like I'll take this off, maybe the day after tomorrow I'll take this one off and have a go at see how it feels. And I might put more WD-40 in there and let it push in a bit better. Anyway, that's all for today. Yeah, I know yesterday I did an outro for this video. I actually put it all together and posted it and everything like that, but I haven't released it yet. So what I'm going to do is readjust the video to fit in this last little bit of actually getting the glass in there. So there you go. And that would be a new outro right now. Hey, so we did lots of work on it anyhow, and all the rubbers are in the doors and that little thing up there to make the door keep from slamming in the wind and all the stuff like that. So rear window's in. I don't know if I'll go through that pane for the front window. We'll see how this sets. Okay, see you later. Yeah, I think it's the 17th of November, and it's been a stormy November. And today is no exception. The waves are coming in, the sea is rowdy, and you can hear them pounding down here. And it's snowing. Well, it's snow rain. Oh boy, there's a pretty big swell today. Maybe this will get rid of all the maybe this will get rid of all those. All that seaweed is gone. Out to sea. I guess that says it all. It's a rowdy day. If it gets much higher, my bench is going to be out to sea. Anyway, there you go. That's what happens on a rowdy day.